Hello and welcome to episode 261 of our SAP on Azure video podcast. Today is October 2nd, and together with Goran, we are here to talk about anything related to SAP and Microsoft.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. So a few weeks back, we had a news-only episode where we just looked at what had happened in the SAP and Microsoft space in recent weeks without focusing on a specific topic. We actually got quite some positive feedback, so we decided to do this more often. It will be a shorter episode, but I think this is good for everyone. Of course, we will continue to do our deep dives on specific topics. However, before we get started today, there's also one other thing that was brought up now several times. When you watch this show on YouTube, you are interrupted quite often with ads. Several of you wrote comments under some of the videos, and also some colleagues reached out to us. I want to be clear. We're actually not making any money with these videos. Actually, let me quickly share the screen here. We're not making any money. We have not activated anything to earn money with this. So you see, we could apply, but we haven't done this. This is really, we're just doing this for free, basically. So unfortunately, there's very little that we can do about this. I hope you still enjoy this and all of our other videos, and you might just have to skip and scroll forward in your videos and hopefully skip the ads there. Well, yeah. So that's it from an ad perspective. Again, I hope you still continue watching us or listen to us, but that's just something that we wanted to address. So with this, maybe we can look at some of the news. Exactly. So the first thing that I saw in the timeline was actually that we have a new learning course, Run SAP on the Microsoft Cloud. And obviously with all the changes with Rise and Grow, Cloud ERP, no, ERP Cloud, ERP Private Cloud, there's a lot of new things happening, a lot of different focuses are, so integration is becoming more and more important. So there was a renewal, basically, an update on the learning path, and this is now available, so you can click through it. Apparently, it's 6 hours. I have to admit, I've not done it yet, but I'm pretty sure there's some very interesting things in this.
And that's great because whenever I learn something, I love to have kind of guided tour. I also haven't tried it, but however, they also said, okay, they teach you how to do it, how to deploy the resources and concepts, and which is very, very useful, as a kind of structured learning for free, right?
Absolutely, exactly. So give it a try and let us know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Another thing to learn, SAP TechEd is just around the corner. And SAP TechEd, I mean, this is for the first time in a very, very long time. It's in Berlin. So November 4th till November 2nd, 6th, sorry. I will be there. A few other colleagues from us will be there. So if you are there as well, it would be great to catch up with you. Come by. We have a booth. We have a few sessions. I have a session together with SAP on Joule and Copilot. We also have a session to talk more about Microsoft AI and SAP. So if you're interested in this, if you are at TechEd, then it would be great to see you there.
Is it already published, some of the sessions yet?
Good point. Yeah, sorry. I wanted to thanks for the reminder. Yes. So quite a few sessions are already published. I think that there's still content that is being published there, but quite a lot of sessions are already there. So I looked, for example, there are quite a few ABAP related sessions. Obviously, if you look at AI, there are a lot of sessions focusing on AI, how Joule works, Joule for developers, other areas there. So I think it's there'll be a lot of cool sessions there in Berlin. Okay. Looking at partners, so for our partner, there was a recent webcast that talked about migrate SAP on Azure and the different offers and incentives that Microsoft provides to partners. So if you are a partner in this space, And if you have not yet watched this webcast, check it out. It's there. It's a yeah, it's an MP4 file that you can even download, I think. So you can also watch it while traveling somewhere on the train or in a plane or whatever. So I think if you are a partner, there are some really interesting insights um, there for SAP and Microsoft. Then talking about another podcast, there is a German podcast, the SAP Story. It's actually so I already listened to the first two episodes. It's really looking at the history of SAP. There are a lot of guest appearances from Christian Klein, from Dietmar Hopp, from other members of the broader SAP family. It's nicely done, I would say. I enjoyed the first two episodes. So yeah, if you have some time, like me, if you walk the dog, then just listen to these episodes. It's pretty nice actually. Then oh yes, one topic that I'm asked quite often is SAP success factors and the Teams integration. And I just saw there's a nice video. I mean, it's just a 1 minute long video that talks about the SAP success factors Teams app that is available. So you can just yeah, you get an idea of what you can do here with the success factors directly in Teams. There's a nice dashboard here basically. So if you are a success factors customer, there are also quite a lot of links down here to get started, to install and configure the app. So if you are success factors customers, if you're using Teams, then maybe this video gives you a nice idea of what you can do. You can also see there's also SAP Joule. So SAP Joule will also be featured. I think we talked about this also with Diana and with Christoph Rühle from SAP on the Joule and Copilot integration. But this will be covered here, I guess, in another video. At least that's what the person who's doing the demos here is saying. With this, one last thing about Sentinel. Microsoft Sentinel got a huge update, and it's not only a SIEM platform, but it's what we call here an agentic AI platform now. I watched a few videos. It looks good. What stood out for me is actually that apparently now there's also an MCP server for Sentinel, which means all of a sudden you can access the security relative information from the Sentinel graph via also an MCP server. So you can easily embed it into a Copilot Studio, or if you want Claude Desktop or something like that, or if you have other MCP clients, you could just connect there to Sentinel and also use this to query some security related informations. So I have not tested it yet myself, but it looked very promising. And small spoiler, in the next episodes, we will actually take also a closer look at SAP with security. Obviously, also talking about Sentinel, talking about a few other scenarios there in our deep dives. So maybe this blog post is already a good introduction to the topic, and then in our subsequent episodes, we'll also definitely follow up on
And
this.
it's also, I mean, when you think from SAP perspective, by nature, a lot of talk also from SAP itself is about AI in the application space, which
Yep.
makes sense, absolutely, However, there is also huge space in SAP technology part as well, and AI ops, and that's becoming more and more. And this is one absolutely a nice aspect of that AI ops.
Absolutely.
Part.
And I think
Yeah,
actually, Goran, you have a few things
we
there
will see it, something
to talk
interesting.
about as well.
Right,
So
right.
maybe let me stop sharing, and then you can share your screen, and then we
So,
can talk about some of the things that you found.
yeah, so interesting. Let's say, classical infrastructure part, right? Some interesting parts, I would say, to start with. Azure Site Recovery supports for the VMs with a premium V2 disk. This is a big thing. So Azure Site Recovery is used heavily for DR scenario of the SAP. works with the V1 or work with the V1 initially. However, many customers are using V2, and that was a kind of showstopper. So now we have it there. General availability. This is great. This is a great news because again, more and more people would use Premium V2 for the different reason. Now there is no, it's a full support, then it's available.
Yeah.
Um, Another one very interesting for Azure NetApp services. They are now kind of allowing that service, flexible service level, so meaning separating capacity from a throughput and IOPS. So in the past, if you need you need to create certain capacity pool to get certain performance. And if you need more performance, but maybe not space, you need to expand the capacity and pay more only because
Mhm.
you need performance. So now they are similarly like in Premium V2, they are splitting these kind of stuff, splitting of capacity and the throughput. So you pay only for what you need, which means um, you add, if you need just more throughput, you just pay for the throughput and not for the storage another way around. This is, I think, a nice story, a more granular approach and ability, which will offer customer really a more granular pay-as-you-go stuff for the with the Azure NetApp, right?
And I think, I mean, we had Ralf Klar, we had Geert with
Correct,
us
correct,
in previous episodes where we talked about how we can optimize the different Azure NetApp files setups basically
correct.
in
Yeah,
different scenarios. And I think these new service levels, they will give customers much more flexibility
exactly.
in really addressing the specific requirements that
Yes,
they have with their
correct. And
environment.
save the costs,
Nice.
so to say, and
Yeah,
save
exactly. Yeah,
save
in
save the
saving
cost.
costs. Yeah.
Correct. And another one, again, Azure Files Premium and backup for the Azure Files Premium was not in the beginning available. So we have a general availability now. Azure Files are using heavy lot also with the SAP in the contact in the SAP. Now it's really nice that we have also backup with the premium Azure files, which are generally used also and or prerequisite in the SAP context as well, right? Um,
That reminds me, we need to get an update on Azure Backup.
as well,
I think
yes,
we need to
yeah,
have a deep dive session there with some of the colleagues because yeah, this is just one thing, but I think there are quite a few other things
yeah,
that happened.
correct,
So we should
yeah.
try
We
to
should
find a
try it,
colleague. Yes.
correct. And as you mentioned, Holger, there is something called. I also recently just find there is a public preview Azure SRI agent because we are always in SRI, meaning site reliability engineering. These are the guys who actually do the troubleshooting root cause analysis. So
Mhm.
now the idea is you have the agent which is doing that work for you. All right. Um, so basically what they are telling is what it can do. It can do accelerated root cause analysis,
Mhm.
automated mitigation, automated instance response, do some best practices, intelligent infrastructure, understand the infrastructure Azure part, collaborate with the GitHub Copilot agents. It understands basically the kind of the Azure very well. However, when we talk about the AI ops actually area, it's also important to understand that there is also awareness of the application as well. So what they are mentioning here, Postgres, API management, Azure Function, AKS, Azure Container, Azure Web
Mhm.
Services, and there was those some of demoing those Azure Web Services. I mean, no SAP at the
No,
moment,
but still, I mean,
but
if I
still,
look at
yeah,
API management, for example, I know a lot of customers that are using
yeah,
Azure API management with SAP, for example. So that
correct.
if something is wrong with the API management, now, if I understand this correctly, I have the SRE agent that is this, can I interact with the agent or is this automatic or
It's
what?
interacting. It's also doing
Okay.
proactively monitoring and also resolving the stuff, and also and you can interact with them, also ask what is the reason, and it will also offer you mitigation abilities, maybe like they are telling there is some 500 errors, like maybe how was in the past, do you want to roll back the changes, and it's doing for you, and it's also doing the kind of best practices analysis, and it's also tracking
Nice.
the incidents as well. So basically, reactively and proactively as well,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and this is a kind of goal. So on one hand, they're generally, I mean, those root cause, when you think analyze, are really complex problems. First you need to understand, the AI has to understand all your application, and how it's connected to the infrastructure, and then you have to, it's multi-dimensional, like with the SAP at least.
Yes.
But then there is also more broader scope of incidents, events, monitoring, which is even more multidimensional. And then it has to be having ability to connect the dots, and when it connect, it can help to find out the root cause as a first step, which is a big thing. But it can also, then you can say maybe the next step is, can I also proactively engage to prevent it? For example,
Yeah, yeah.
different scenario, or maybe also if something is identified as a problem, to even reactively also fix the problem. That would be a kind of action, something either proactive action or maybe reactive action. So it's this topic is becoming more and more hot also with the SAP as well. It's a lot of talked as well on SAP AI Ops, AI for the IT operations, so to say, right?
Yeah.
And it's again not SAP there, and put it as but it's a excellent style.
Well, maybe not yet, and then maybe I
Maybe not
mean
yet, yeah.
SAP runs on virtual machines, runs on,
Correct.
on a lot of things. So I guess I hope that these topics will also be available with the
Correct.
SRE agent at some point in time. So
Exactly, and it understand the Azure as well, and the connection of the all Azure components, which are also interconnected, and that's a very good start. So quite, I would say, quite exciting and big opportunity, because these problems, as an example, root cause, you just can't solve it with the human programming. You just can't. It's just too complex. These are really multi-dimensional problems, and AI is an ideal to a candidate to try to solve it. Prerequisite is you have to make it to understand the context. Yeah,
yes,
that's another challenge, but generally it is really yeah, it's an exciting time we are living.
cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
right.
great,
Right.
good. I think this was a quick episode this week, but I think we covered quite a lot of topics. All the topics will be, and the links will be in our show notes. So if you want to take a closer look, or if you want to sign up at TechEd or whatever, use the links in the show notes. And yeah, I guess with this, next week we'll again have a deep dive.
Exactly. All right.
Sounds good. Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.